Posted up into the stories a link about an article. Well, it wasn't a link, it was someone else's highlight on an article on magnesium threonate, and it's all in the interest right now. And so because this is something that I am deeply passionate about, and I am finding myself talking to people about quite regularly, I thought we'd do a compressed live, same sort of story. We'll kind of step through, step by step, understand a bit of what is the unique value of magnesium threonate, and like, why should you care, what role should it play, like, or when you should use it compared to other magnesium forms, etc. Because this is what I would consider a unique situation. So what we'll say first, we do have magnesium threonate standalone with no supplement co, and we do also have magnesium threonate in the Strom Sports ZMAX. Per capsule, you've got 400 milligrams of magnesium threonate, and that is paired with 200 milligrams of magnesium bisglycinate, and then a yield of 15 milligrams zinc and 4 milligram B6. So that's what that is per capsule. You get 90 capsules in the tub. So that's relevant products. Now, on to magnesium threonate. So magnesium threonate is a magnesium bound to what is called threonic acid, which is a metabolite of vitamin C, and so you might call it like normal in your body, naturally occurring in your body. But magnesium threonate is not a normal thing to have in your body. So when we take in magnesium threonate, the really big useful function, and if there's one point I really want to drive home with this, the big useful function is that it will cross the blood-brain barrier effectively, and much more so than other magnesium forms. So other good bioavailability magnesium forms that don't mess with the guts and stuff like that, that's like your bisglycinate, and that's very popular and well known and like all popular for sleep, etc. But it doesn't cross nearly as well as magnesium threonate, and it's much more of a, like, if you are deficient in magnesium, then all these other magnesium forms, really great, and you can basically like solve nutritional deficiency with any magnesium form. You get the job done. There's cost-benefit trade-offs, whatever. But magnesium bisglycinate, magnesium oxide, magnesium citrate, like whatever, you can solve your nutritional deficiency, and then you'll have a passive transport across to the blood-brain barrier according to kind of where your blood magnesium levels are. And that's kind of the basis for most magnesium, and you can solve nutritional deficiency state with most. But then when magnesium threonate steps in, this isn't just for solving nutritional deficiency state. I would specifically use it for when I want a superphysiological, aka a higher than normally achievable, like normal body things, level of magnesium in the brain. And that is demonstrated in animal studies, and it's demonstrated in terms of in the cerebral spinal fluid, like it is demonstrated to elevate, I believe, there's up to 15%, which is quite significant, beyond normal. And in human, we see behavioral outcomes that align with that, such as sleep function, such as memory, such as other like downstream neurotransmitter, etc., and behavior. So what it's doing, increasing magnesium levels in the brain much higher than you would otherwise. Why is that cool? Well, we have these things called NMDA receptors, and the simple case is that like L-theanine and kind of like glycine, and this is why magnesium bisglycinate is kind of like a hot sleep thing, is that can work and modify on those, that you end up making more of them. And one of the things about this receptor in general is that as people age, the amount of these receptors tends to decrease, and they therefore, you could say less of those is associated with negative cognitive health outcomes. So people early stage, I'm being cautious about wording here, early stage memory and cognitive function. I don't want to specify any diseases. So by helping to upregulate that's what you're combating. And I think there's a really good long-term utility there. What people really notice when they do use it around with sleep is that they do get that kind of calming L-theanine-ish like effect, kind of like glycine too. I actually do a mega stack, like what I call my NMDA sleep stack, which I've been playing around with at the moment, which is L-theanine, magnesium, threonate, and glycine by itself. And the reason I do that instead of, say, magnesium bisglycinate, again, is for the super high magnesium levels within the brain, but then also for the glycine dosing. In glycine, like magnesium bisglycinate, if you're doing that in capsules, you're just not really going to get into the glycine dosing range that is more relevant. Glycine by itself, I'll be dosing up above 3 grams, usually up to kind of 6 grams. Some guys will go into the double digits, so 10 plus grams, etc. And that's when you can start to really feel that quite calming effect, and the 3 plus grams is probably what I'd say. So glycine, not something to low dose, quite hard to get high dose of it from magnesium bisglycinate, because you'd be taking heaps of capsules, quite expensive too. Cheaper to do glycine, magnesium threonate to get that magnesium in, and theanine by itself. So the unique value there, say you have nutritional deficiency, so you got some blood work done and your magnesium is low, then that would be a good case for many of the other magnesium forms. Simply put, it's not that magnesium threonate's bad for that, but magnesium threonate is a more expensive form to try and just get yourself up nutritionally topped up. But once your nutritional level is good and you want to get above for those long-term cognitive health outcomes, and maybe for that acute kind of sleep relaxation feel, that's when you'd bring in the magnesium threonate, which coincidentally is kind of what ZMAX is doing, and in one. But yeah, the magnesium threonate by itself. So I think we're going to see a lot more research on this over the years. Magnesium threonate was first developed by MIT in America, and they did a bunch of research, and I believe direct out of their lab came the branded magnesium threonate, Magtine, I believe is the name, but magnesium threonate is magnesium threonate. They're all the same. You don't need the branded form. Just get a quality form. And yeah, I think that's the big summary on magnesium threonate. If you I see we've got a few people. If you do have questions, you're welcome to pump them in. But for the most part, yeah, we can just do some highlights. So some other good magnesium forms is like your magnesium taurate. You're getting some taurine in there too. The bisglycinate I'm a fan of, and like the beauty of those is the low gut impact and just good bioavailability overall. But one thing I would stress is that you can achieve your nutritional need magnesium from basically any magnesium form. And so that's not a big thing to stress. Like some have lower bioavailability, but they're much cheaper per gram. And so that's how the balance works out. You just dose them up higher. Whilst, for example, magnesium threonate, you get, I think it's like 7%, 7% actual magnesium, and most of it's threonate. I need to double check. It was maybe 11%. From 700 milligrams of magnesium threonate, you get 15% of your daily value. Whilst if you got 700 milligrams of magnesium oxide, you would have a way higher percent of daily value. Of course, bioavailability challenges, etc. But like that's what I'm talking about here. Is like what portion of the compound is magnesium to what portion is the salt, or the thing that it's bound to. We will leave that there then. I hope everyone has a good day, and onwards and upwards.